Hey Buckley, and welcome back to another video. Today I am bringing you my Christmas haul. I am only hauling books that I have received for Christmas. I'm not going to be hauling any of the other books that I've just bought throughout the last few months since I last did a haul, because I am doing my entire owned TBR video very soon. So it seemed a bit silly to be doing two of them back to back in a way. So I thought I'd just show you some of the things that I got given for Christmas because I'm very excited about them. So yeah, there's quite a few here. I'm excited for them. Let's jump in. I'm going to start out with the ones that were bought for me by my nan, and that is the entire Wounded Kingdom trilogy by R.J. Barker. This is a series that I've been really excited to read ever since I read the Child series by R.J. Barker, because I really liked his writing, but I don't know a huge amount about it. It consists of Age of Assassins, Blood of Assassins, and King of Assassins. I'm very sorry about the glare on these. The gloss finish. So this is following Gritton, I think his name is, who is the apprentice to the best assassin. He is being trained to become the next assassin for this empire. However, he is currently on a mission that is not something he's accustomed to, because instead of taking a life, he has to learn how to save a life, because someone is out to kill the heir to the kingdom, and he is the one that has been tasked with protecting the heir to prevent the outbreak of civil war. I am really excited to read more R.J. Barker. I don't think I will love this as much as Child from what I have heard, but just reading anything by an author that you really enjoy is always really fun, so hopefully I'll still have a great time with it nonetheless. The only other series I have on here is the Emily Wilde trilogy by Heather Fawcett. I have such high expectations of these, and it will be very easy for them to fulfill them. It's not one of those where it's like I have high expectations because I expect this is going to be a perfect book or anything like that. It's just more, I just want the vibes. That's literally all I want, is for this to be a bit of fun, a bit of a cute romance, and lots of fun, and really whimsical cottagecore. So I'm really looking forward to getting to these. This trilogy consists of Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands, and Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales. And this trilogy is following Emily Wilde, you may have guessed. And she is a really genius scholar. She's one of the best scholars. And she has gone to Scandinavia, I think, or like a Scandinavia adjacent fictional country. I don't know if this is set in our world. So she can study fairies and create like a compendium of all of the unknown fairies. However, she has an academic rival who is Wendell Bumblebee, who is very charismatic. He's nowhere near as thorough a scholar, but he's very charismatic. So while she is in this country and she's really struggling to connect with the locals, and they're very cautious of her and unwilling to help her, they're much more willing to help Wendell, but she is a better scholar than he is. So I think the two of them are going to have to work together on this compendium and discovering these fairies. I don't know what the actual stakes are. I don't know if there are any, or if it is just these two kind of wandering around a fictional version of Scandinavia, but I'm excited nonetheless. Everything else that I have are standalones. I have The Square of Sevens by Laura Shepherd Robinson. This is one that is a historical story. It's following a girl whose father dies and she's left in the care of someone else, and then she also used to read people's futures with the card structure known as the Square of Sevens, and she wants to investigate what happened to her mother. I don't know anything else about it. I don't even know when it's set. It looks medieval, but I don't know. But I am very excited to get to this one. I know that this made its rounds on my Discord. I know that I think it was Jade and Rebecca that read this one, and they both really liked it, and I'm always on the hunt for more historical fiction, so I'm excited to get to this. The next one that I have is another historical fiction, and I only heard about this from the Goodreads Choice Awards, and I just thought it would be an interesting one to try, really. I don't know very much about it, and that is The First Witch of Boston by Andrea Catalino, and this is literally following a Puritan society in Massachusetts, and I assume the first person maybe to get persecuted for witchcraft in this place in Boston. So I am excited to try this one out. I'm always on the hunt for more like witchy historical fiction. I hope it's done well instead of a little bit too much of glorification. And I am excited to see how I fare with it. I actually only have one more fantasy aside from the two series on here, which is unusual for me, but that is Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wang. This one is a dark academia fantasy, I believe. In this story, we are following a young woman who is the first to be accepted into this mage college, but they don't really want her there. So So they assign her what they deem to be not great partner because it's someone from this other race of people who are looked down upon. And I think it's how the two overcome their prejudices, hers in a racial sense and his in a sexism sense, and how the two need to end up working together to prove wrong this society, this academy. I really liked, like everyone else really, I liked sort of Kaigen, so I'm really excited to give this a try and see how I like her other work. But I've heard people whose taste align with mine more seem to like this one even more than sort of Kaigen, so I'm very excited for that. And then the last 4 that I have are actually horrors, which is unusual for me. How to Survive a Horror Story by Mallory Arnold. This one is literally that. There's 7 authors enter a manor. Can they survive the story within? And I think it is that there is a legendary horror author who invites everyone to his house, and then they're kind of like invited to play a game. I don't know. It sounded very tropey and fun, and I am excited to give that a go. Even the kind of like layout of it feels very murder mystery. I do think that it is horror as opposed to a thriller, but it might be a thriller. Either or, now I have it. So it's worth a try. For my year in horror, it's worth a try. None of these, I've only got one that is actually for my year in horror TBR, and that is My Darling Dreadful Thing by Joanna Van Veen. I've heard really good things about Joanna Van Veen. There's a couple of hers that I would like to try. I think she's also the author of Blood on My Tongue, which I also really want to try. It's about a woman who has a companion that's like a spirit that only she can see. And then a woman comes to one of our protagonist's seances and the two strike up a connection. I don't need to know much more about it. I think I've got this on for my gothic horror TBR. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how I fare with it. And if I like this author, then it's good to know that there are other books of hers that she's written that are of interest to me. So I want to give her a try. I have 2 more, but these are not for my horror, my vlogs of horror. These are just to go on my general TBR because I wanted to have more variety than just the ones that are specifically for vlogs. So I've got Coupe de Grace by Sophia Ajram. This one is following a man who is depressed and wants to kill himself. But then he gets off of the train to go to the bridge where he wants to jump off, and the train station's endless and he can't get out, and it is him literally trying to find his way out. I think there is going to be a discussion around mental health. I hope that it's handled well. It's a novella, so it should be really easy for me to get through if I want to, and yeah, I'm excited to give that one a try. And then the very last one I have on here is one that I've heard really good things about. I first heard about it on Jade from JD Ray Reads channel, and she was talking about this one, and it is Delilah S. Dawson's Guillotine. I know that she liked this one. I think this was her favorite of the Delilah S. Dawson ones. I think this is a group of billionaires, and this woman gets invited to come along to this like island retreat that they all go to, and while she's there she kind of gets to see how the 1% live, and then I think people start dying or something. I think it's going to have that maybe figuring out who is doing the killing. I think it's also got female rage going on in here, which was another reason I was excited for it. I know when I heard Jade talking about it, it sounded really good, so I'm very excited to give this a try. So there you have it. Those are all of the books that I have been given over the Christmas period, which is less than I usually get. That is all for this video. Let me know if you've read any of these and your thoughts on them. Let me know if, based on my interest in these, if you have other recommendations, especially for the horror ones, but just any of them really in general. And yeah, I hope that you had a great Christmas. Let me know what you got. What did you get given? Did you get any bookish stuff, like books or bookish related stuff? Or just like something that you're super happy that you got this Christmas? Let me know in the comments down below. And that is all from me for today. So thank you ever so much for watching, and I will hopefully catch you in another one soon.